this is sort of like, it was my whole idea to start a podcast, and then I'm like, hey, my first one, let's fuck it up. Davis and Martin they're on a roll. Let's fucking hear it.
Yeah.
But I got some tea and crumpets for this, because I saw Crumpets at work, and I said, I guess I got to get some tea. I've never done this before. So I put sugar in my tea. Do you do that?
Yeah. I fuck with sugar in my tea.
I don't know if this is even the right kind of tea to be using.
I also do the milk thing too.
You do milking?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I feel like not a lot of people do. Like most people do sugar more than they do.
Yeah.
Milk. But.
All right. Well, anyhow.
I'm gonna give it a whack.
Let's get it. So yeah, this is getting deep in. I mean, with Corey.
Yeah.
At least as of now, maybe we'll change that. Kind of a stupid name, to be honest. But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's funny enough.
It's a working title.
Work in progress, perhaps.
I don't know. Like TV shows when they're mimicking Hollywood.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Is it fucking boiling right now?
It's very hot. Yeah, be careful.
That's the thing about tea is tea is always super hot. So you wait and then you go to drink it and it's like cold. There's like a 30-second period where it's perfect.
Yeah, there's a thing that people say what you're talking about. Do you dunk the crumpet?
I don't know. I'm not British, man.
Also, these.
Let's go with this thing.
These are like vegan.
Vegan.
I think because I got it at Whole Foods while I was at work, and I don't know if that's a proper like impression of crumpets if they're normally not vegan. Whoa. Super soft when you dunk it in the tea. Interesting.
Yeah.
How's the dry side? Yeah. It's funny. What was it? Alicia was like, you're probably going to find it very anticlimactic. Mm-hmm. And here we are.
Yeah.
At the anticlimax.
It's not like it tastes crazy different than what I imagine it to taste.
Yeah. It's really that it just tastes super duper plain to me. Mm-hmm. But the tea, I'm pleasantly surprised by it. Some bedtime shit. I don't know. You got a bong over there, right?
Oh, no. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Good old Weeder Parker.
Weeder Parker, Spider-Man bong. Will you pass me the lighter, too?
Yeah.
Unless you want greens. Didn't you pack it? Proper etiquette, right?
Yeah. So, should we introduce ourselves?
I guess that might be kind of cool. Maybe? I don't know.
So, I've never met you before in my life.
Yes.
My name is Davis Horgan.
I'm Corey Horgan.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Totally unrelated. No. We are brothers. We are brothers, and we're the Horgan brothers. And, yeah, I don't know. Davis, in life, what is it that you want to accomplish? Because that's something I've been thinking about lately. Like, for me, as of lately,
seemed like if you asked me that, like, 5 years ago, I would have a completely different answer. If you asked me that 10 years ago, I would have a completely different answer.
It's an evolving thing. Right?
And what's interesting
everybody's opinions are constantly evolving.
At those times,
or desires,
I knew exactly what I wanted to do. For one of the first times, again, in my life, since I was, like, maybe like a little kid, I've been really thinking about what is it that I want to do in life,
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. I've been on that same kind of page. For me, I want to just impact the world in a huge way. Because I know it's possible. I know you can.
That's how I felt when I was your age.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think especially because, you were that person going around just claiming shit. Like, I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
That was always probably pretty inspirational for me.
I told so many people, listen, I'm going to be famous one day. I'm going to be this amazing person. I'm going to change the world. I made so many claims. And now I'm like, do I really want to do all those things?
Right.
And, like, I might. I really might. But, like...
For me, I think I want to create huge change. And the biggest thing is, like, there are people that are out there fucking digging dirt, literally, and fucking saving starving people at a building.
Yeah.
Starving in buildings.
No, there's some
I'm combining
people.
burning buildings and saving a starving person from a burning building. Mm-hmm. No, but there's people, like, doing real hero shit. But for me, what I want to do...
From a burning person.
From a...
Yeah.
What I really want to do is I just want to influence people to behave in a way that is, like, at least in my opinion, good.
beneficial to the rest of us and also
to the
themselves.
rest of us, to the world, and I mean, yeah, it's also
But also
subjective what
importantly,
you view as good and bad.
So my theory is that like what is ultimately best for human beings ends up being what's best for all other human beings as well. So like when people live in a non-selfish mode of existence, that's sort of like, can you imagine like if every person in the world was like the nicest person that you've ever met? Like picture that's like the baseline, and then like maybe some people are like fucking shitheads, you know, but like most people are just like amazing, really like that would just be so incredibly beneficial for every single other
I guess
person.
it's hard
Like,
to argue with that, but
yeah.
you know, the yin and the yang, there always is like a bad side to things.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what, you know, more of just a, like, you're just expanding the good and minimizing the bad, as opposed to this good thing has bad in it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's kind of a, I don't know. It's hard to say though. But
Yeah.
but your point about you know, if everybody lived, you know, in that way. Like I always think if everybody lived in a way.
But the point I was trying to
you can continue.
Was that like what ends up being best for society ends up being best for the individual as well. And vice versa, you know?
Interesting. Well, I was going to say if everybody lived in a way that like I don't succeed, but I try to live in a way that I think if everybody else lived this way, the world would kind of be okay. Like if everybody in the world ate the way that most Americans do, well, it wouldn't happen. It just can't happen, and it doesn't happen. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
That was a weird noise.
I was gonna say, did you hear that like sizzle or something? Like,
Yeah.
What was that?
But like, you know what I'm saying? So like, if everybody just decided, nah, I'm just gonna have like a few chickens and a cow in the backyard, and fucking, you know, whatever milk I get from the cow, that's how much milk I have. I'm not gonna buy a gallon of milk every time I run out, and I'm not gonna. So if everybody lived in a way that was like, you know, if everybody else did that, you know, we'd all be fine. That's what I kind of think is what you should shoot for.
Right, right.
If I don't know.
Just promoting like sustainable lifestyles, you know?
I guess, yeah.
Because like like we gotta reel it back, you know? We're doing this shit off like credit, you know? We're on borrowed time right now. Like we're not thinking about what's gonna happen when shit finally catches up to us.
Maybe some people are. Well, some people definitely are.
Well, I mean, I think on a societal level, you know,
Right.
we're definitely fucking that up.
Well, yeah,
you
of
know?
course, because we're, you know, obviously.
Oh shit.
Ooh, someone's home.
Oh shit.
Who do you think it is?
I don't know.
I know Desmond's excited about it.
Let me see.
We're gonna go take a peek.
Hey.
That's what happens when you hang out in our kitchen. Dogs are barking and people are cooking, and also we're talking. Wow, he's real stressed out about this one. I don't know who this is, but he's probably gonna find this whole thing real strange. Oh, he's a dog walker. Oh shit. It's like the wag thing. I was gonna take him out later. I feel bad. My roommate doesn't always need to do that. Wow, what a nice guy. He's doing this in the rain. Yo, how about that? It was the dog walker?
Dog walker.
That's fucking hysterical. I was just saying, like, I feel bad. Like, I was planning on walking the dog. I hope it doesn't, like, cost our roommate money.
Yeah.
I think she was mentioning about having a bunch of free walks for some reason, but
Yeah, something.
I don't know
like
if that is what that dude is doing.
Yeah.
But
No. Yeah.
yo, how about these people on the dog walker things though? Like, they're mad friendly.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
They seem very like. I mean, they spend their day with dogs. You know.
Dude, did
like,
you just see that lightning, dude? This fucking dude is doing this shit in the rain.
He does
like,
not seem upset about it at all.
Yeah,
He's like,
his
"It should be
attitude
fun."
was so
Did you hear
good
that
just
at all?
now?
Like, oh my god.
He was so fucking friendly. I fuck
Yeah.
heavy with these dog walker dudes and chicks.
Maybe
and,
there's something about working with dogs just makes you a happy person.
Ha.
You know, like it might be, like.
Because what I was thinking was like, well, happy people are gonna work a job like that. You know, people who are generally, oh yeah, the guy who walks dogs. Of course, he's a happy dude.
Right. Yeah.
That's funny. Yo, this tea is really actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's at the right temperature. I've got about 30 seconds to drink it. Yeah, that's really good.
But yeah, anyway, back to like I guess this point that I guess I was trying to make, that I still don't even have in my head as I'm trying to make it, I guess. But this idea that like I just want to encourage people to like, even just if it's by their own like just think harder and like care more, you know.
Yeah.
One of the big things that I thought about recently was like so many people I'll start with this one part. So many people just live their day-to-day life and like all they're looking for is to be content and happy and like whatever.
Yeah.
But like they're searching like externally for it and like with drugs and food and all that shit. But like at the same time, like why aren't people just trying to affect the world around them? Like people forget that they have this ability to like inherently, just by having fingers and an eyeballs and a brain and shit, like this human form we have, you are capable of like things that just have such huge results.
Right. Well, most people don't see it that way. I feel like most people assume that you can't change the world, you know?
Yeah, most people have this idea like, oh, there's people that are doing those things, but I'm doing this thing. It's like, no, those people decided to do those things. You know, they weren't just woke up one morning doing it. They weren't doing it at one point. I mean, it's like that idea that the best guitar player in the world, one point, couldn't strum a single chord. He sucked at guitar at one point. You know?
Yeah.
People think, oh, I'm not talented. Well, yeah, so was the most talented person. They were not talented at first, and then they did very direct action to become so, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and
well, that's like growing up. Like I always like people listen to me play guitar and they say, "Oh, you're so talented. You're so talented." It's like, and I would say,
you just
bullshit.
spent a lot of time.
You
playing,
haven't seen me in my room practicing over and over and over again, like these different licks and these different scales.
Yeah, believe it or not, I didn't do it the
first
first time.
You know, it took time and practice to learn how to do these things.
Yeah.
And like I feel like any artist will tell you
and
that.
It's not to say that we're so great that we put in the hard work. The point is that like don't sell yourself short that like you're not capable of doing it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
The point of that is not that like, oh, it's not that we're talented, we worked hard for this, and it's, the point is, for me, it's like I'm not just like talented, I'm just a human like you are. I'm just a person that decided I was going to do this or that, and you can also do that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's like building.
We were talking earlier about how, like, we feel like we could both be good visual artists if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, if we wanted to spend our time drawing and do that stuff, and, like, and I've drawn things that, like, are, like, really actually pretty good, you know? Like, numerous self-portraits that, like,
I was always really impressed with your drawing.
People draw self-portraits and, like, it just doesn't look like them, but, like...
And our Grandma Horgan was always I was always, like, surprised when I saw stuff that, like, she had painted or something. I was like...
Well, yeah,
that capturing a face...
Yeah.
Emotion of a face and shit. It's hard.
But there is, like, a point to be made about, like, talent is a thing. And
yeah, there are inherent, like... Like qualities that some people have. Like,
see this butter.
Yeah. Some butter.
Is it way better with the butter on it?
I think everything's way better with butter on it.
Oh my god, when you leave butter out, like, fucking...
Yeah, dude, that's that grandma type shit that, like...
I see why they do it.
Yeah.
Clear advantage.
Look
at this shit.
And you can do that for, like, 4 days, I'm pretty sure.
2 seconds.
I think for up to, like, 4 days... Yeah, some ASMR shit for those who are, like, just listening.
Welcome to my ASMR.
Oh, God, no, that's gonna scare people away. I'm one of those people, like, I don't hate it, but I'm not going to choose to listen to anything like that.
Personally not a fan.
The whispering thing. The fucking whisper song. That...
I do like that song, though.
I like that because of its comedic. Like that's just like
Yeah,
okay, I
that's
get
how
it.
mine's
You know,
like-
that's like way over the top.
He's like, Mommy, fucking, your butt looks like it's soft. Mind if I touch it and see if it's soft? Like, what?
Yeah. That's like the A2M bitches guys. Your pepperoni nipples and your that shit is ridiculous. Cause I'm coming for ya.
Yeah.
And then my favorite part about that intro, if you listen afterwards, you can hear his friend like sitting on the couch in the studio go,
Yeah, he's
what
like-
the fuck was that, man?
Was definitely some ad-libbed shit there.
You know, and I loved when I stumbled across the loop that they used. You can actually find that loop
Yeah.
in the Apple. I bet it's in GarageBand too. It's
So,
an
for
Apple
those
loop.
of you who don't know what we're talking about this absolutely ridiculous song.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah.
By A2M, which I can only assume stands for ass to mouth. And it's just about fucking bitches. It's called I Got Bitches.
Hey, it's our roommate.
So,
She might have to be on it in a later episode.
Hey. Hey.
Yes. A2M. Ridiculous. I don't know if I know a single other song by those guys.
no, definitely not. It's, yeah.
I don't know if they're even like, I wonder what's up with those
It's one of
guys.
those things that their song was
Their
basically
song,
a meme.
I was gonna say,
You know
yeah,
what I
it
mean?
blew up
Like-
because of like it was in memes and shit.
Yeah, it was the Hasidic Jews dancing to
Moonshine.
the song, and then also
Yeah, that was hilarious.
the Russian kid in the club. He's like fucking dancing. Which, if you
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
that
that
video, it's actually wicked funny. There's like this interviewer just like interviewing this fucking Russian kid at the club. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" He's like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like,
Hey, how you doing?
"What's up, man?"
Nice to see you.
Just gotta scoot by it.
Yeah,
Just gonna
it's the magic of the
scoot.
kitchen.
Scoot him by.
What's up?
How you been?
What up, man?
Moonshine. You guarding the house. Kill.
I gotta say, dude, this is not a bad combination. Like British people, you're
Yeah.
doing it kind of. Yeah,
I guess you kind of. How could you not like, even though it's was, what was the word I used? Anticlimactic.
yeah.
It's still also like, all right, but it's not bad. Like
It's enjoyable.
I can see
Works
why
well
people
with
are
the
doing
tea,
this.
you know. It's like
Yeah, I wonder. Like I was looking for black tea. Yo, I gotta say, at Whole Foods while I was there, I could not fucking tell what tea was like regular tea. They're all some fucking like bedtime or energy or breakfast. I saw one that was breakfast that seemed most normal, but it has a bunch of caffeine. I knew we'd be doing this at night,
oh yeah.
so I was like, well, I might be doing this late. I might want to fall asleep later. I don't want a super strong tea and crumpets. So I got a bedtime tea. That's what I got. And it what is it? What's the flavor that's in it? I don't fucking know. There's a certain flavor. Caramel.
That's one of those words that's like pronounced differently depending on what region you live in.
Or not even that, just person to person. Although I guess regionally there are more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like think about it. If you lived in a region where everyone said caramel, which like people say caramel, I think, and like
Well, it's one of those things that for
I
me
think
is
it's, like, more
interchangeable. It's like what was the other one? Idea. We've been talking about,
oh
but
yeah,
you don't like idea.
no way.
I don't mean to use idea, and I think I've been using it since we had this discussion at a previous time about idea versus idea. There's so many of those. I think my favorite is TV versus TV.
Yeah, the TV.
Turn on the TV or the turn on the TV.
Yeah.
That one
That's like
blew
one thing
my
that
mind when I
never
first.
noticed that like people even did that until you mentioned that, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Pinto does pronounce it that way. It's like, it's like when you and every time you bring up this point, I hear him saying, "Oh, turn on the TV," and I'm like, "What the? Why does he say it like that?" Like,
Then that's obviously leads me to always to clicker versus remote.
oh yeah, I say channel changer. That's the one I use. But
I feel like there's definitely so many more of those that I can't even think of right now.
yeah,
I don't care to think of more of those though. Those
Yeah.
are Those are fun. Yeah, I got a couple of things here that we could talk about.
Yeah, what do we got? What's on the bulleted list?
Man, you saw me say, you saw the big one for F Apple.
Oh, yeah.
Because I bought an iPad that I knew was locked, but I thought I could reset.
So, wait, what happened with, did you ever end up contacting them? Did they ever
No,
talk to you?
I'm still meaning to do it. Their
okay.
Facebook, whatever their Facebook page is, replied to me, like, for a whole conversation about, like, yeah, I'll talk to my IT team or something.
Right.
I was like, yeah, thanks, man. Haven't heard back. This construction company, I want to say GNC, G&O or GNC or something like that. Concrete.
GNC, I just
concrete.
think of like the...
Yeah, the health
Yeah,
store,
like I picture the
protein
fucking
powder place.
protein powder thing. Like I don't know. I'm sure they do other things. Like probably a lot more things than I'm aware.
Yeah, they
of.
got all those vitamins and
That's what I picture.
all that stuff. Yeah.
It's a fucking whey protein bottle,
But yeah, that concrete company. I found their iPad. No, I didn't find it. I bought their iPad that someone found. And like they told me it was locked, but I thought I could reset it. I thought I was like gonna just factory reset the thing, wipe it clean, and I have a fucking iPad.
Right.
It was
yeah.
one with cellular because my phone is. Yeah, it's does weird things where the screen doesn't see my fingers, and I have to.
Yeah.
The only way I've been making it work is by bending it in a certain position.
Oh really?
Yeah, sometimes when I apply pressure in the right spot, it'll start working.
Oh right, that's that old one. That
yeah,
like, yeah,
it's that shit. So I wanted
Is that
to.
what? Oh, I was gonna say it's the fucking cracked as shit one. Like,
Yeah.
Out there still. Like.
That one broke. Then I went back to this, and then I saw an iPad on Craigslist for like mad cheap, and I was like, well, fuck it. It's got cellular. It's a nice ass one. New. It's like $500. I got it, and the Apple ID thing, the account was logged in, and they used Find My iPhone. So I guess when they do that, when that happens, the iPad locks up to a point where nobody currently can unlock these iPads.
Yeah.
Like it's just not possible. It is. There's services
Right.
that claim they do it, and they have all these fake reviews, but it's not possible.
So what does Apple do when people bring these to them?
They say you have to talk to the previous owner.
What if you are the previous owner and like you can't? Like,
So that's a
bring it to them?
different thing. If it's your iPad and you can talk to Apple, there's all the security things that,
Right.
But when you
But, like,
buy
what-
a
yeah.
secondhand iPad
Yeah.
or iPhone or iPod or whatever it is, now, if it was lost at one point
Well, also think
and the
about
owner
this.
gave up on it, but they left it in that state, it's trash now.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with it. I mean, I understand the argument that, like, okay, well, for one, it's protecting people's private information.
I was gonna say.
But their old way of dealing with it used to just delete it all. So you can't get it if you unlock the iPad.
Right.
So.
But there's also like data recovery, like software that can get shit back that like, because
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. So
when you delete stuff, it doesn't actually delete things. It's like just says okay.
Yeah, but I don't
these
know how
transistors
this
are like you can write things here, so that it'll say like but it doesn't actually take
Right,
the
but
time
I don't
to like
know-
scramble the data. Or
I don't know
anything,
if the old way that when you reset an iPhone or iPad to factory settings,
right.
it may have done that. I don't know.
Because I don't know. Yeah.
Because
don't
I
know
think
that
that was
much
part of the
about it,
point. I think that was part of why you have to reset it
Well, yeah.
completely. But I also get like it's so that people aren't stealing iPhones and selling them. There's that argument. But
yeah,
I'm convinced.
Definitely, yeah. Because that would happen. I feel
Well-
like nobody steals iPhones nowadays for that reason. Because it's so hard to.
Right, probably because you're
You know.
you're gonna have to sell it before they lock it, or sell it to somebody who is ignorant, which I was.
Yeah.
But I was like willfully ignorant. It was especially.
Yeah, that
like,
dude like made it well known.
Yeah, no, that dude is
like, I
a
don't
good
even
guy.
know, like,
He
yeah.
was a good guy. I can give him nothing but
Yeah.
And I knew I might be getting myself into more tricky because I was like, I don't know why he hasn't tried to do it, but
Yeah.
anyways.
I feel like maybe like partly assume that
I think it's also like
he didn't do all the research necessary to like potentially figure that out.
yeah, he
Oh,
probably
hello,
didn't care that
Devin.
much. Tessie boy, he's all wet from the
Yeah,
rain.
he's all wet. He's gonna go jump in my bed and fucking roll around.
But I think because they have this problem where their old phones are competing with the newest model, people don't care to get the new iPhone.
Right,
I was
right,
telling you
yeah.
about that the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
They have this problem where their old phones are competing with them, and so they certainly stand to benefit from their phones getting locked up and turning into trash.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one's gonna buy it secondhand if it's bricked, if it just doesn't do anything. And that's fucked up. That pisses me off so much
because
so many people are still buying. I bought an iPad like that. People are still, and it's like, I don't know. You can try to talk to the owners, but like I found the owners and they spoke to me, and it's like I still haven't gotten them to like unlock the thing.
Mhm.
I'm thinking of like going to the place in like, I don't know. I'd have to take like a like $30 Uber there and back. But it might be worth it if I can go there.
why are they gonna have someone who works there spend time that they're paying their employees to do
Right.
to like fucking unlock an iPad that
So
someone
some
lost,
dude- yeah.
for some dude on Craigslist,
Pretty much, yeah.
they'd be like, fuck off, I got fucking this shit, and those TPS reports, like
TPS. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, didn't you say it's a construction
It-
company?
yeah, it's a company that does like concrete. But
Interesting.
yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Probably got
knows?
some crazy apps on it. Like fucking
Yeah, I don't know.
like CAD and shit,
I wonder. I bet there'd probably be some cool apps for like
Although I don't know what the
blueprinting
fuck
shit maybe.
goes into concrete, man.
Yeah, I don't know why they need a fucking $500 iPad with Wi-Fi and cellular for a concrete worker guy who's gonna lose it.
Yeah, I wonder how that's another
wonder what
interesting,
was
like
on
how
that
did it
one.
get lost,
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, but certainly, like, they should be, like, well, this is just, like, the problem with, like, capitalism is in general is that, like, it's so primarily concerned with generating income in the form of, like, currency. It's just like, well, that's not necessarily what's sustainable for the planet, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing with consumerism is, like, we just consume, and create these, like, products endlessly. Like, we create things specifically to break down so that we can sell people more because that makes more money.
Yeah,
for,
there's no
keeps the
doubt that
machine
the
going,
systems we have in place are just so flawed.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a lot of doubt and question and debate about how to replace them.
Right. And, like, everyone is, like...
Everyone's afraid of socialism.
Yeah, of course.
Which, I don't know. I mean, I've heard some stuff about it that I'm like, that
Well, the
sounds
thing is-
like it's a bad idea. Like, there's a lot of...
Marxism, fucking, communism, like, clearly failure. You know what I mean? Like, that shit just does not work.
I mean,
at least at
it's
where
something
we're
I
at
really
right now.
don't know enough to really say one way or another about, the fucking commies. I don't even know what communism, really. I know it's like, share everything. That's all I fucking know.
That in itself is just like, like, that's not
It's
gonna work.
too much of it. Yeah.
Because, like, it's just people need an
But
incentive to
my
do
understanding
things,
of it is also too much of a generalization of it. Because that,
Well, the thing about, like, I've never really read the Communist Manifesto.
But also,
But
my other point is also about, like, that's also how I am with socialism and capitalism.
Yeah.
My only experience with capitalism is just living in it. So I know a little more about that than the others.
Right. I think capitalism is good as a baseline. You know what I mean? Like, things should be primarily capitalist.
I
But we
think
should
that
have
makes a lot of sense.
socialistic elements. You know what I mean?
And I think people get scared by that sentence.
Right.
'Cause
Because
it's-
people
it's-
are very scared by the concept of not being in control of their healthcare provider, in America. I don't think it's really such a big deal for people in
Well, I wonder about, like,
other countries.
are they not in control? I mean, can't they choose which free place to go to?
Well, yeah.
Is it-
I mean, I don't know.
I guess
much.
they're all
I've
the
never lived
same?
in Europe, but
Yeah, I've never, of course, yeah.
but
Never have any experience with it before.
um,
But I will say my experience with our healthcare system was
Yeah.
shit. All I did was like, dude, if mom and dad, if we didn't have the parents that, you know, I'm so grateful to have, if it weren't for them, like, I would just be in debt. I would be
Yeah.
in debt, and I'd be really fucked up right now.
you
Like,
know, I
as far
paid
as
$1,500 out of pocket for ambulance ride I did not want to take.
yeah, right.
That
I
was
remember that
night.
shit. That was some
I
bullshit,
was,
'cause,
fucking
like-
on drugs at fucking
Yeah.
Eric Prydz, and then like
How did
fucking-
that even like? What did you pass out or something?
No, I was a complete moron.
Oh, you were
And
just really losing.
I
it.
was I was two player. I threw up in the bathroom, and then I offered to clean it up to like the security guard, and he starts like talking to him, and then like I'm like, oh, and I walk away, and then next thing I know, like people are grabbing me, and they're like bringing me into this separate room, and they're like,
Yo,
what did you
fuck
take?
that.
we need to know what you took. And I was like, I took like fucking acid and Molly or something. And they're like,
You're just like,
they
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
strapped me to this fucking gurney and shit. I'm like,
That's such a
what the
fucked up
fuck is
thing
going
to
on?
do.
And I'm fucked up. I
To
don't
a
know where my
person on
friends are, and I'm
drugs.
just like, what in the fuck is going on?
That's
and
not
I'm like,
right.
And I tried to take it off me, and I was like, you know, and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. They pushed me back down. Oh fuck!
Oh, that's all right.
I lost my headphones. Yeah, there they are. So they
We're
pushed me
in.
back down, and they're like, if you do that again, we're gonna have to call the police. I'm like, oh. And like when you hear police when you're on the drugs I was on, I was like, no. So at that point, I accepted my fate, and I was like, fucking.
I guess that's the best thing you can do at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna say? No, I don't need an ambulance. That's fucked up though, because you really didn't.
No, I did not need an ambulance.
You know, like even
I
though
paid
you were
$1,500 out of pocket because they didn't want to accept the liability of what could potentially happen to me outside. It's because we live in a
and you
litigious
know,
society,
maybe
you know?
that's not even a problem. Maybe that is the right thing to do in that situation when you're
Oh,
not
from
sure how
their- from
fucked
a
up this
business
person
perspective, you know what I mean?
is.
Like,
No,
yeah.
from like a moral perspective, even like I don't know how fucked up this kid is. Maybe we should send
That
him to
too.
the hospital.
Yeah.
But it's fucked up when that costs you $1,500 out of pocket. Now.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's the thing. It's just like,
and to put it on
It's
the person
also
like,
very
oh, you should have
expensive,
never
like-
taken drugs. That's your fault. It's like, well, dude. I mean, did
okay,
you ever
what
take
about-
drugs?
What
'Cause
about
a
the
lot of
person
people
that
have.
drank like fucking way too many beers at a bar and like had to get kicked out because he
There's-
puked in the
yeah.
bathroom? Like the
There's
same fucking thing happens. You
so
know what I
many
mean?
arguments to
And
be
I
made
was
about
like
that,
a
in
totally
my
fine. And like the
opinion,
whole
I think,
night,
yeah.
I was like, at no point was I an asshole to anyone. I was just doing my thing, you know, and like fucking
Yeah, and that's the other
trying to
thing.
have fun, you know, like.
Well, and I'm sure your friends, you've always had like, you know, some pretty good friends that you
Yeah.
spend these times with. So like, I'm sure you like I remember a night where one of your friends like disappeared. It was an acid night.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were like, where the fuck did he go? And you found him. He was face down in the snow, and he could have died.
Where's Tom? Where's Tom?
He
Yeah.
could have died. And but you know that's the thing. It's like you had these friends looking out for each other, and like
Mm-hmm.
in your situation, you would have been fine. Like even if you were too fucked up, your friends were there.
Yeah,
You know, and
exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's one thing that I can clearly see some people have never experienced.
Yeah,
And it's that feeling of having people that look out for you.
That is
And it's
that is something
really
to be
important.
very grateful
and
for.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it makes me wonder like what advice you give to the people who really have nobody. Because I mean, it's not like nobody is truly alone in this world. Go find someone. Then
Yeah.
you won't be alone.
There's other alone people, you know what I mean?
You doesn't even
But-
have to be alone. You can find
Yeah.
people with a ton of friends, and just like this one person introduces you to all their friends, and like
Yeah.
What the
and
fuck?
then suddenly you have like 50 friends because you've just been introduced to the circle.
yeah,
that,
or like
you know,
9, you know, like or 7 or 4,
Yeah.
or you know, or like you
like
said,
negative
50.
3, you know? Was that like 3 people hate
What
you
you
now?
killed? Now 3 people hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you hit this?
yeah. I definitely hit that. I think twice in a row.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but it is one of those things, like, I actually, there's a Chance the Rapper line. Everybody's somebody's everything. And it's like I don't like how it's exaggerated in the sense
Yeah.
that it's like, well, that's not exactly true.
Yeah, there's
But
probably some
the
people.
point
like,
is that he says nobody's nothing after it, and that is the point. Like nobody is nothing.
Yeah.
Because you are some. If you're alive in this world, you can affect change in the world, and you can make others feel. And if
Yeah.
they feel a way that they care about you, and sometimes it's just a matter of realizing that people do feel that way, and
Yeah.
that you have done that, and that you've convinced yourself otherwise. I think. But I don't know. That's like one of those things. Like, where
Well, I
did
mean,
we
I think-
start this? This one tangent. I feel like there was a point we were starting on.
Wait, what tangent?
Where we are now.
I don't know. Sometimes you hit the bong and just like you forget what the fuck you were just talking about.
Man,
you know?
it's funny with the
I think it
podcast
just happened to
thing
both of
'cause,
us. You know, It's like, we
could rewind it, but we'd have
that's
to
the
pause it all
exact
that
moment
shit.
where they lost their train of thought, and they're like, "Woo."
Yeah, we'll be able
he
to
lost
watch
it
that
right after
back.
He hit it, and then he smoked it, and he lost his train of thought.
That's one of those things I want to get better at, and I know I'm almost positive
Yeah.
at least it's big part of it is because of marijuana. When you're smoking weed, man, your train of thought, you lose it. Like it's no longer a train on rails. You're a train on a fucking frozen lake.
Yeah,
just sliding around.
Or like quantum particles.
and
like,
sometimes
popping
like
in and
you
out of
start going in
existence,
one
you know what I mean?
direction, but then it just slides. All of a sudden, you're like, wait, where the fuck was I?
Yeah.
Totally disoriented.
Or do you know, like, I've told you about, like, virtual particles, right? How they're, like, these, like, matter-antimatter pairs that, like, pop in and out of existence.
I feel like I've
briefly
heard you talking about
the
this,
vacuum of
but it
space.
makes, like, that whole thing you just said is just so hard to even, like, what? Like, so much of that means nothing to me.
So, you know what matter is, obviously,
Right, matter and antimatter
Do you know what
and
you-
particles with quantum entanglement.
Nah, well, I guess they would be quantum entangled, probably, I would imagine, because they're...
Probably.
They're
I don't know.
fucking what do you call it? They're the opposites of each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the only reason that particle
wait,
can exist
Opposites
is because
where? Like, is this in another dimension? Is this in the upside down? And
no,
like
they both exist in our physical universe.
I see. Okay.
So like how virtual particles exist is like so when you have this vacuum of space, you know what I mean, of absolute zero like particles, you know, like what you can find is this writhing frothy sea of energy that's like just barely fluctuating, you know what I mean? And what it is these tiny particles that pop in and out of existence, like a matter particle and antimatter particle. And so like what happens is apparently you can borrow some energy from the universe as long as you create an antimatter particle to balance it out, and then they split off and then they converge so that it all equals out. And that's basically how virtual
Man,
particles work.
that I started to lose it at a point.
Yeah. I'm also like, there's probably way better people to listen to that could explain it. There's like so many YouTube videos and like, but
It is fascinating though. I love thinking about like.
and
I remember
it's something that
reading
can be
something
measured
about
too,
the
like,
biggest electric current in the universe. You ever think about that?
no. But
Just that concept.
probably pretty big, yeah. Right?
Like, what the fuck is that? Like a?
Or like how the longest like
Is it physically
electro
large? Like, is it just super powerful? What the fuck is
Or
the
wait.
biggest electric current in the universe?
right.
Is that an entire like?
because there's different ways like biggest amplitude or biggest like frequency, you know, because like radio waves have like a much longer frequency than like microwaves or gamma rays, and you know, which have like very short frequencies. That's why they're high energy and they'll fucking like give you
Well, this
cancer
was
and stuff, but-
electric current. What the fuck is that? That's
Yeah,
one of
I
those
don't- I
things you
don't-
were just talking about, or is that a different thing?
I'm not really sure. I always kind of assumed
Rays
that
and gamma rays, isn't that some other
like
shit?
electromagnetic radiation is
Oh.
the same as electric current, you know what I mean, like the shit going through wires, you know.
I think this is why that was the section of physics in high school I didn't do very well in. Because I don't fucking conceptualize this shit.
It's
I don't
a very
get
difficult
electricity.
thing to conceptualize for
It is
like a
so
lot of
strange.
people, you know. I almost feel like we should move past the topic because like clearly we don't know what the fuck we're talking about when it comes to electricity, you know.
I guess so.
And like in a world where you can
But
listen
I
to like
like-
so many intelligent people like talk about things. It's
Right.
like,
But I like encouraging people to talk about things that like
Yeah,
you're not
that's
gonna
true,
learn
though.
about it. I
You know what I mean?
You're probably not gonna learn much about it from us, but
right, but it might
you'll
pique your
learn that
interest.
you
Like,
and your
holy
friends
shit,
can
I,
just
like,
talk
I
about
actually
that
fucking
shit.
don't know
you know?
about this shit. You know, it might make you curious. Like,
Oh, dude, one of my favorite, absolutely stupid discussions that I actually think is really fucking good is the which way do you wipe that AJ
Oh my
always brings
God.
up, dude.
oh my god, that discussion is yeah.
It really is like it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
To this day, I still wipe the same way, man. Why the fuck am I gonna stand up? I don't need to do that shit,
shitty balls, dude.
dude. I don't.
I forgot.
I've been
about
wiping
that.
this way forever, man. Never once got shit on my balls.
You wanna know how I do it now?
How?
Both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Really?
No,
Do you
because
start with.
why choose, man? I realize like, dude, you're missing out if you're going one way or the other.
Oh, that makes no sense at all.
I'm saying missing out in a bad way. Like you're
Yeah.
just missing literal shit.
Yeah.
This is for anybody, all our fan. This is something that our friend has brought up at family gatherings, like with the aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
He brought up the which way do you wipe conversation
Yeah.
and it gets fucking. Hey, we got tea. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And his argument was that like if you wipe between your legs while you're sitting, you're gonna end up with shitty balls. And I personally wipe that way. Never once had that happen to me.
That's not right, man.
What's interesting to me is like most people stand face first in the shower. I'll have a little more.
Face first in the shower, yeah.
Yeah, I have the shower water against my back. That's how I do it.
I do that when I'm scrubbing parts that I don't.
How do you
want
wash
to
your
rinse.
hair? Facing that
Okay,
way.
hang on. Let me get back in. How could you hear me all right?
Yeah, I could hear you.
I guess
But
I
I'm
can
also in the same room as
Ride the volume if I have to.
you. Yeah.
I face the shower head when I want to do my hair. And then my hair hangs down over.
What?
Scrubbing when I'm rinsing.
That
And then
sounds wild.
actually no, when I do
'Cause for me,
scrub
head's
my
back
hair.
and I just like it all.
Yeah,
rubs
see, I
that
can't
way.
do that one.
Yeah, that's
Mom
how
does
I've done
that,
it
I
my
think.
whole life.
I can't do that because I'll get water in my ears.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
But this way, you get less water in your ears. I would
Yeah,
imagine
the top
it'd
of
be
your
more.
ears. You know?
Oh shit. I feel like I'm playing Halo right now.
Halo? Okay. Damn.
Just teabagging.
That got me good. I was like genuinely. I was like, what's he
I was like,
doing? That's like Halo.
He doesn't get it yet. You know.
I have to keep
I
doing
knew
this.
you're gonna fucking. It's like gonna be 2 seconds, and you're gonna. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Someone one time asked me. I'll never forget it. Until I have Alzheimer's.
Here, we got another tea bag around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit's that.
They're in the little bin up there. Someone asked me in the 8th grade, and I still remember it to this day. Do you crumple or fold your toilet paper?
Ready?
That's the one, huh?
Product placement. Now we're super legit.
Yeah, there
So
we
hit
go.
us up.
Bedtime
Yogi tea.
yogi tea.
Fucking get it at Whole Foods.
Or
Send us some
wherever
free tea if you
your
want,
yogi
or a
tea
check
could be
with
found.
$1 million on it.
Yeah, just that would be fine.
Those are like about the same. Right? value.
Ah.
Yeah, what were you just talking about though?
Do you crumple or fold your toilet paper?
Fold.
Yeah, right?
Crumple. What the fuck?
What a fucking mess,
What
dude.
kind of fucking savage does that? How can you be like?
You trying to
accurate
poke
with
a
that?
finger through that
Yeah,
shit?
what
Like,
the- yeah, that's no. That is
That's
a good
what I
point.
think.
No, I didn't even think about that.
I'm pretty sure people do just crumple that shit and say, fuck it. And what a
That's
waste.
Such a waste, yeah.
Yeah.
That's point number 2. You know? I love how, like, all right, that shows human beings' priorities right there. Like, hold on, I want to save the planet, but am I gonna get shit on my finger? Like,
Yeah, for real.
that is unacceptable. I'll let this
Unacceptable.
motherfucker burn.
I don't care how much soap we got and water and sanitizing. Hell, let this fucker burn. I ain't getting fucking shit on my fingers. Oh my god, that's the other. We were just talking about that with why am I spacing on his name? He was just here, Martin.
Martin, yeah.
We were saying the Marilyn Manson thing about
Yeah, you call him
the
Charles
rumor-
Marilyn. That's how much he mixed up Marilyn Manson and Charles Manson.
we started talking about if you could suck your own dick.
Oh yeah.
I think that really would become the thing. Like, oh dude, you come in your own mouth? That's gay.
Yeah, you come in your own mouth. Oh my god. My friend tweeted this. You remember Nadia Alves?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
tweeted, she was like, men literally have cum inside them at all times. Disgusting. ... Sluts.
That's hilarious. That's
And I fucking lost. I was like taking a shit. I was like,
I take it she's totally like joking around.
obviously.
That's fucking
yeah.
that is hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's such a true observation.
Yeah.
That is, and it's quite disgusting
Faction.
to think about.
Fact. Yeah.
In a way. I mean, well, actually, yeah, no, I don't know. I've thought about that with like poop. You ever think about the fact that like someone who has to poop is just carrying poop around?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah. That's like
they're a smell-proof bag
If
of
you
poop.
think about what the fuck? Human beings are mad smell proof. Now that I think about it,
That's another
Wow.
interesting thing about and that like
that's
smell
a
proof.
what the fuck fact. You know what I mean? You ever see that? Like
No.
like the fucking border. Or something. Jamie, bring that up.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't seen that, but I think I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a fucking I don't know, meme. Not important though.
Fucking A. Yeah, man. Walking bags of poop. It's gross to think about that.
Yeah.
How about that, though? Oh, I missed. Another thing that AJ said one time that I was really interested by was he asked me if I think I'll live to see the first 200-year-old person. You know, like,
Yeah.
first person to live to 200. That'd be wild.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, technology is crazy. I was talking about that with an Uber driver, and then I was saying how if that did happen, you'd have this like second wave of like baby boomer type problem.
Oh yeah.
They're like, fuck,
Definitely.
all these people that like they're
Like,
not dead yet,
all
and we
these
don't know
people
what to
are
do
supposed
with.
to die.
Like, we got all these others coming in. Like, you all
Yeah.
gotta fucking get out. Like,
Yeah. Okay. So like, you know how like the population boom happens when like fucking.
yo, you want another crumpet?
I can fuck up another crumpet.
We can get another crumpet. What about population booms when what?
So
people
like
come back
yeah,
from-
like population booms happen after like countries become developed, you know, and so like but it evens out after like, because what happens is like these families are used to having like 7 kids, you know, per generation, and because like most of them are gonna die, you know what I mean, like that's what happens in like third world countries, you know, you can't be sure how many of your
That's heavy.
like yeah. So when they become developed, they like have this huge population boom because they're still having the same amount of kids, and then they realize they're like, oh wait, they're all still here. Let's have like 2 or 3 kids most. You know what I mean? Like for
oh shit,
and so
they're all
like
still here.
shit like evens out. You know what I mean? It becomes much more manageable. You know what I mean? It like plateaus. You know?
That's interesting.
But
I've never heard about that before.
yeah.
Was I telling you about the whole orangutans using spears to fish?
Oh yeah, that shit is fascinating though.
Man,
Yeah.
if the whole idea that scientists are saying or thinking that they're entering their stone age, I used to always wonder, like, you know, this evolution thing growing up, like, why isn't there anybody that's like right behind us, like, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
There
like, if we
is.
evolved from monkeys and all that
Right.
stuff, like,
What I'm
why
curious
aren't they
about-
evolving and turning into us? And
So-
but the thing is, they are.
What's fascinating to me is like, all right, what about intelligence in birds? Like, you know, like, what are
Dude.
the things that we assume intelligence has like a lot of high correlation to? It's like our
You've heard
hands,
about,
you know what I
like-
mean? The fact that we can manipulate things, but there's
Right,
other forms
manipulating
of like high
the environment.
like
is what
dolphins
we-
are fucking incredibly smart, but they're like they can't like build a
That's
fucking
that's why they
radio or something like they.
get treated
you
like
know?
just a dumb animal. But
Right.
I think it's a spectrum of consciousness or something like that. Like,
But
where
that's the
some
thing,
are
like-
smarter than others. And
Yeah, human beings are so much more ready to accept like apes and other primates intelligence levels because like they're so familiar to us. You know, they look so much like us.
I guess that makes a lot of sense. Cause one thing I was saying is like, so you ever heard that shit about like, you know, is it dolphins or whales that when they put them in an aquarium from different parts of the world, they don't get along because they have like different dialects, like they
Oh,
don't
yeah,
speak
yeah,
the
yeah.
same language, so they fucking fight each other and shit. And imagine, dude, if you could fucking learn to communicate like what if you could reproduce sounds that like the dolphins made using computer technology and know, it responds to this sound in this way, and start like learning how to communicate with fucking animals like that.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I think it's silly that people think we can't talk to animals, because like when
Right,
you go
right.
to a dog, no, it very clearly is getting
Yeah.
a message conveyed to it
Right,
that you
yeah.
are sending, you
Mhm.
know, and it's communication is happening.
Right.
So it's just
Yeah.
levels of the, you know, how much communication can we achieve.
Yeah, and it's because like
and I
we've-
think
there's this
mushrooms is
big
one of those
barrier,
things.
you
Like
know?
if
Language
I was saying
is-
this to Cleo the other night, and she was saying like, yeah, some people fucking eat mushrooms with animals or some shit, and like dolphins or something like that, and like get in with them. I don't know. I don't know if she was saying
Wow.
people do that but I think that's a cool fucking idea. And
Hey,
if
what'd you
you're-
do this weekend? I tripped sack with a fucking dozen dolphins. We just got fucking wild, dude. We were like fucking swimming and shit. We were fucking like passing the puffer fish around. You know, like, shit was fucking weird. You know.
Shit was weird, man. Nah, I really wonder like if you could do that shit though. I don't know if she
Yeah.
was saying that shit really does happen or if it should happen.
Oh, it's
but
fascinating to me. These like
Definitely would be
friendship is
dangerous as
not,
fuck.
Like unique to humans and dogs and shit. You know what I mean? Like I've seen videos where like people are like friends with octopus, like or octopi. You know.
I don't know if they're supposed to be crispy or like fluffy. I want to say fluffy because I toasted it like twice on like kind of low. It's still pretty fluffy.
I feel like they're like crispy on the bottom and then
Yeah.
like fluffy on top.
Looks like a pancake on the bottom, and that's
It's pretty nice, man.
tea and crumpets. I think this really is gonna have to be the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna have to start just doing tea and crumpets on every show.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know, make some cocktails or whatever
Mhm.
you want to, but every
Yeah,
show's
man.
at least got tea and crumpets. That's funny. First time I ever tried them.
Yeah.
I'm
Honestly, not
sold.
bad. Yeah.
I wonder how the non-vegan ones are.
I thought these were the non-vegan ones.
No, these are vegan.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No. Yeah. Sometimes my brain just says the opposite of what I actually meant.
Oh man, do you wanna go into like religion and the nature of the universe?
Oh shit, we could.
I mean, I was just saying to you the other day about that thing about, you know, actually you had replied about the goalpost, moving the
Oh
goalpost,
yeah, the goalpost.
saying,
Yeah.
and I realized I think my problem with using that like phrase or whatever is that like because in the mind of the person coming up with the idea of God, that isn't what they're doing. That is it. That is the end all be all. That is
Right. They accept that as a form of finality. It's
Right.
like, well, it's God, so it must have.
And when
always
you
been
say
here.
they're just moving the goalpost, it doesn't really. It
'Cause
didn't make sense to me
it's-
at first.
Because what it is it's good enough for them,
For
but
a
it's
long
not
time.
good enough for me. Because like they can accept that God has just been here forever, but I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like, so if
It
God
really
can
is
just
like
be here
so
forever,
strange to like.
like why can't the
It's a
universe?
question
you know
you
what I
ask
mean?
yourself,
Like, it's
at
like,
least-
what is really the
As a
distinction
child,
here?
I was wondering like, how the fuck can God just make everything
Mhm.
be there forever? Like, didn't he get made somehow? You know.
So like I watched a video it's like PBS Space Time. It's got this video about like what happened before the Big Bang, and it describes the Big Bang as being like the North Pole.
It's like
You know what I
God was walking around in his sandals and his.
mean? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and like it's like they were basically saying it's like, you know, the way Einstein looked at it was what's north of the North Pole, you know? There's no sense to ask what's north of the North Pole because mathematically and like realistically there is no north. That's it. That's where all the lines of, you know, latitude converge. So
Start really
if you
talking
think
yourself
about
into
like
circles with that.
Einsteinian like clocks, like as far as like, you know, the perspective from the observers, you know, and their individual clocks, if you traced all their clocks back, they would converge at a pole, you know what I mean? And to ask what is north of that pole, you know what I mean, doesn't make any sense because it's the point where all the
You
clocks
lost.
converge.
What the fuck are you talking about? Clocks.
You know, like observer, like. So do you know how like
Latitude and longitude lines?
how much do you know about like time dilation and how
All I know is I have no idea why you're talking about clocks.
what I mean by that is it's kind of hard for me to describe because it's like one of those concepts that's like hard to fucking understand, you know, like but it's, Einstein's theory of relativity, you know, is that time is experienced differently depending on how fast you're moving. So every
Yeah,
person
I have
has
heard
a
that
different
shit.
clock. You know what I mean? So if you're like going really fast, you know, your clock is running at a different rate
That's a weird
than
way to
if you're
put it.
going slow. You know, so this happens in real life.
Well,
you know?
no, that's one of those
Like-
things that like NASA says about like deep space travel.
Yes.
Once they got to like their destination, billions of years have
And they
passed.
knew about this shit forever. Like they talked about this shit in like the fucking Twilight Zone. You know what I mean? Like,
That's wild.
at least I think so. I forget actually, but
But yeah, you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to
if
that
you- if
point
you-
because we were talking about God being the.
yeah. So like if you trace all these like frame of references, like these clocks from each individual observer and all these different like particles and matter in the universe back to the source, you know what I mean? Because we can do that because we can see like the cosmic microwave background, which is like, I don't know, a whole nother thing to get into, but basically we can observe via the redshift that the universe is expanding. And with math, if we reverse the equations, we see that like the universe should have at one point been a incredibly hot, dense singularity, you know? And so they're trying to think, what was before that, you know, in time? But like, if that's the beginning of time, it doesn't make sense to ask what was before time if that's where time started, you know?
That's where.
And that's
you
when
just
they're
have
saying,
such a big problem, right? Like you have a problem with that too, right? In that it's just totally ununderstandable.
no, I don't. I actually don't.
What? That blows my mind to think about that. I'm like, what do you mean the fucking beginning of time?
Yeah.
Fuck off with that.
No, because all right,
And if it began, it
doesn't make a
began
difference.
out of something.
So
You know,
here's
it's
my
that idea.
here's my thing. Everyone likes to think of. I think that, and this is another thing they talked about in that PBS Spacetime episode, is that like, you can't, like, people want this sense of causality. You know, they want to think this happens because this, because this, because this. But if things just began for no reason, then all of that goes out the window, and you're like, I mean, it's happening, but like, what started it? You know, it freaks them out. They can't handle it. You know. What
To
I
me,
mean?
I think what makes the most sense is that it's just all already been here
Right.
the whole time.
Yeah.
But then
That
it's
I
like,
certainly could like believe that as well. I think that could happen.
and
as
that's
well.
not to say that, like, I don't know, maybe that means the Big Bang did happen. But I think then what was before the Big Bang was like a big
bounce.
something that turned it into that, you know? But everything in the universe
And there's a
was
lot of theories
there.
about that too. You know.
But then the other thing is like, well, where? If that's the entire universe, the universe exists. It has to exist in something, right? For us to like understand it. So what the fuck does it exist in if it's not the universe? And then I think people just go to God because they're lazy. Like they can't handle getting to this point that we're at right now, where it's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, and they're not happy with it. It won't do.
It's weird. I could almost accept any sort of weird kind of like, oh, it just happened out of nothingness, or like,
I could even
or
accept,
it's always
like-
been here or something. The one thing that I'm like, oh, a creator made it. I'm like, that sounds like bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, but the one
any
thing,
of the other ones, I'm like, okay, yeah, that could happen. But
I
like,
could believe that we were created by higher beings,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and
but
that they could be like what we think God is, but then we
that's
still
what I was
end up
saying,
at
like,
that same
yeah,
point.
It's moving the goalposts again. You know. Like, because we experience that when we plant fruits and genetically engineer things and like do all sorts of weird shit. You know, like we can manipulate life, and then that makes us God in a way to those creatures. You know.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
If you have omnipotence
and
over
if
someone's like something's existence, like
If
you are essentially
we,
God.
for
to it.
example, if we created AI,
Mm-hmm.
right, real, like people with like souls and shit, as far as like, you know, super unscientific
Mm-hmm.
to just say souls and shit, you know. Somehow
But
we create these
experience-
thinking, feeling, emotional
Consciousness.
creatures, yeah, that are aware of their own existence
Mm-hmm.
and care. You know, if they found out we created them, that wouldn't be it. They'd be like, all right, you're God, but like, where the fuck did you come from?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
That wouldn't. No. Yeah.
So even if there is a God, you still have to say, well, where the
And
fuck
they would
is...
come to that conclusion much faster because, like, you know, chances are they're linked up to like the collective understanding of the human race. You know, what I mean, like
Yeah.
the entirety of the internet at their fucking.
I
like-
actually do think, though, that, like, we won't do it with our technology right now, at least. I think the only way to do it would be with, like, feeling cells and shit. Or making something that was that complex.
Mhm.
But we don't have that technology. Like, think about how you feel when you slice your arm open. Your nervous system and all sorts of physical things that go into, like, your thinking. But if you have something that's, like, just a brain with information, it's, like, totally unemotional.
But the thing is,
Unfeeling and you know.
so what's weird is life seems to be about the sum of the parts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Being greater than the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. You know that expression?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if... I totally get the concept that you're trying to
Because take
say.
any one part of human existence and remove it. They're still basically a person. You know, they just don't have a sense of pain, you know, or a sense of hearing, or a sense of, you know. But when you combine all these things, you call them a person, you know. And when you slowly take more and more and more and more and more away, we basically say, oh, you're like a vegetable right now. Like,
Yeah.
you're technically alive, but you're not really a person, you know what I mean? And it's like a weird
It is weird because when you say like taking away features, it makes me think about like take a fucking plant and add features to it. All right, a plant can hear, and that makes it act differently.
Right.
Now a plant can move.
Mm-hmm.
That would obviously be pretty ridiculous.
Right.
I don't know how a plant could ever fucking move, but
Rips all its roots up, crawls away, and then like
plants them again.
Yeah. Or it does it like
You're
mad
fucking
slowly,
freaky.
just like shimmies over.
I was
like, the
thinking
soil,
it has to evolve to not need soil anymore.
Yeah.
Can that happen?
But no, it
But
would
like,
certainly
you know,
need a lot, very
take
different
a
anatomy.
plant and start giving it features of
Well, I think quickly you'll realize is like that centralized nervous system, and I guess like
Maybe
I guess that
that's
does
it.
make sense why like vegans like wouldn't eat oysters or like will eat oysters in some cases like
right.
because they don't have a central nervous system. They're like they see it as basically being a plant, you know, which I actually didn't know that,
Yeah, that's interesting as shit. How about that?
and it's weird.
Think about like the central nervous system and like I don't know, man.
All I know is that oysters are nasty.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, the whole seafood thing, I totally will eat fish, but I'll also eat chicken and cow and like anything that seems like an animal. The idea of that is okay to me. But the second it seems like a bug or an insect to me, I'm like, fuck that. So shrimp, fucking lobsters, get the fuck that away from me. I don't want anything to fucking
Any
do
sort
with
of
that shit.
exoskeleton.
Yeah, man. It's a fucking cockroach. That's all that fucking thing is. Get that the hell out of my mouth. And I'm also convinced if people who eat those things tried cockroach or fucking, I don't know, people actually eat crickets. I know that. They
Yeah,
probably
they eat,
would be like, oh, it's not bad.
In Thailand, they eat like fried tarantula legs.
Yeah, that shit.
Like
Just
I see that
and
shit and it, like,
that
fucking gives me
frustrates me
nightmares,
because
you know, but,
people,
like, they'll
people
eat-
will
they're
draw
like,
the
"Oh my
line
God."
there. They won't eat eyeballs. They'll draw the line there, but then they'll give me shit for drawing the line somewhere else.
right, yeah.
You know, don't fucking try to force feed me some fucking shit that I think is gross.
Yeah.
You can offer it to me and provide me reasons why.
Shrimp is pretty good though. I mean, depends on how it's prepared, you know. Like for me, like I'm not huge on shrimp, but like
Yeah, I have tried shrimp. Well, that's the thing that I'm saying though. I'm not saying that it's not good.
I think it's the most tame out of all those. Like
I'm saying you
lobster
might
certainly
find
has a
bull
fishy
testicles delicious, but maybe
Yeah.
that's just where you draw your line.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that?
Well, that's like the whole, you know.
I fucking put pineapple on my pizza, alright? You
Oh
put
my
anchovies, I put pineapple. Nah.
I'm gonna tell you the right answer to that.
It is
It's like,
hilarious
you
what a
put
polarizing
pineapple-
topic that is.
You put pineapple on pizza if you fucking like it. If not, you don't put it on, and you don't eat pineapple.
I
if you
forgot,
like
we're totally
fucking
in the
A.
same boat with that shit.
Like, you don't tell anyone how to eat their food. It's just like dumb, you know. Like Gordon Ramsay saying you shouldn't put pineapple on pizza. It's like, yeah, okay, but like I'm sure I could order something at your restaurant that'd be like, this tastes like fucking garbage to me because I don't like olives. I don't like fucking, you know, like, you know, there's everyone likes different things. I like pineapple on pizza with fucking jalapenos and bacon. You know what I mean? That shit
Damn.
is fucking fire to me.
That sounds
So,
like some
like,
other shit.
You know, Gordon Ramsay can fucking.
Well, it blew my mind when Theo, we were ordering a pizza. It was the first time I was hanging out with, like, one of the first times with hanging out with him. We were ordering a pizza, and he's, like, going through all the toppings. He's like, oh, pineapple? I was like, just throwing that out there. Like, you're not saying, let's get a pineapple pizza.
Right,
You're just
right.
going through toppings like it's another one.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the fucking way, man.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I'm
So
not
you got,
I'm
like,
not
a
telling people not to
pineapple,
put anchovies
spinach,
on their
and
pizza.
Anchovies and olive pizza.
Can I
That
have
would be
pineapple,
disgusting.
celery, and hot dogs?
Hot dogs. Actually,
Hot dog on pizza probably wouldn't be bad.
that'd probably be
You could
pretty
do
good.
that. Ooh,
Not
there's
in that
lightning
combination,
outside.
but like
Yeah, not in that combination at
no,
all.
Like hot dogs on pizza, that's something that that's actually pretty.
Hot dogs can go in a
unexplored,
lot
you
of
know?
things. Unexplored. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I mean, they put sausage on pizza. It's almost the same.
Sausage is way different.
Way different.
I mean, they're similar.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's some thunder right there.
that was a rumble.
Rumble.
It makes me wonder about like if we lost power, how much we would lose.
Yeah.
That would sure stink.
Would we lose stuff? What would happen right now?
We would be relying on autosave in Logic,
Mm-hmm.
and the camera usually just
Yeah.
it just cuts.
The camera would just cut, but like our audio might get lost.
That would be correct.
Yeah.
It'd
How
be a
about
darn
that shit?
shame.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, what do you think? Did you have any things that you particularly wanted to?
No, I
Topics?
mean I just came into this thing with like.
Is there any other
open
cool
mind.
ones that we really want to
Let
hit
me see
before
that
we
list.
go?
Let me
Yeah.
see that shit.
I wrote like genres of music because obviously we're musicians and fucking.
I don't play a single instrument. Not a single one. Will we see first 200 years?
Yeah, that was the thing AJ brought up.
Conspiracy theories. Fuck.
Yeah, that's a whole big old can of
Yeah.
worms.
Yeah. Rap music, recording, scoring, religion, Scientology, Mormonism.
Scientology.
Mormonism.
Yeah.
Oh my god, special underwear.
Nah, dude, Scientology, I was watching some shit about that was like, I didn't realize it.
You watched
so
the
fucking weird.
Rimini fucking
I don't know what
King
you're
of
talking
Queens,
about.
the wife on King of Queens. You know, she was a Scientologist.
Oh.
She made this documentary about it.
Oh, I
Just
haven't
talking
about, watched it
like,
actually.
there's like the weird thing about Scientology is there's all these fucking levels. You
Well,
know what I
that's
mean?
yeah, that's one of the things that I learned recently. I
They're
was
like,
like,
you're about to learn the secret of how to.
and you can just fucking find out from people who just fucking told everybody.
You know, people are like, yeah, I went through this shit, and I was like, really?
Yeah, no, it's
God's
weird.
a fucking shoe in like space or something. You know, like,
Is that for real?
No, it's like fucking.
South Park does a
It's
great
even more
Scientology
ridiculous
episode,
that-
don't they?
That's actually yeah.
That's one of my favorite
and
things
it's
that
like
South
all,
Park
like,
does.
It's all like actually fucking accurate. I'm
Well,
pretty
that's
sure.
what
Like,
they did
didn't
with
even
Mormonism. Their Mormonism thing, their episode, and then they did the fucking Broadway play.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember hearing
Mormonism
about.
is ridiculous too, in my opinion. But like, I think it's like.
But they
less-
fucking knew what they were talking about. Like, they had jokes in the show that only the Mormons laughed at.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
because they're familiar with a lot of
The
Mormon
Broadway
people.
show, not
You've
in
seen the
South Park.
South Park episode with the Mormons, right?
Yeah.
So like,
And they
what
also
they're
do another
commenting
great
on is, like,
Scientology one.
they have had all these interactions with people, you know what I mean? And that were Mormon, and they were very, very nice people. So, and like they felt conflicted because they're like, you guys seem like complete dumbasses, but like you're very fucking nice people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why they're making fun of them, like, you know.
Well, that's-
No, smart, Martin Harris, dumb,
Dum
you know,
dum
like,
dum
saying,
dum
like,
dum. Yeah.
like calling the founder of Mormonism an idiot because he basically just fucking bullshitted his way into creating a religion with these fucking
You know, it
stones
is
and
kind of
shit,
crazy
you know?
to think about
And
that
all that
shit.
shit is accurate too, and it's just like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah, that shit is pretty wild.
but those people like that they've interacted
Yeah, that's
with
that
were
level
so
of thinking,
fucking
it's
nice
like-
that they're like they just felt like it's a weird thing. It's like
Yeah.
you want to hate them, but
Where the
you
hell is
can't. Like,
where are you at?
You know, and you see that with like the other characters are like.
Well,
you
not
know,
even that you want to hate them for.
Well,
but
like
you just.
all of them want to hate him except for like Stan. Who's
Oh
like,
yeah,
you know,
in the show.
and like Randy too. At one point, like he becomes like a Mormon. You know, like.
That is such a fun.
But at
episode.
first, Randy wants to hate him too. You know.
And then he meets them and like learns how nice they are.
Yeah.
But then he like becomes a Mormon and starts learning more about Mormonism. He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Isn't that what happens?
I feel like I forget, man.
He
It's been a
starts
while.
learning. He's like, wait a sec.
He like can't drink beer or something. And he's like, nah, it might have been something different, but.
Yeah, they do a good job.
But yeah, Mormonism, man, it's
Love
like
that show.
yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those things that like I feel like I'm very glad to be secular and very like agnostic, atheist, whatever the fuck you want to call me. Like, I certainly would not use any of those labels to describe my beliefs. But if you want a quick and easy way, like, all right, do you believe in God or not? You could use agnostic. You know what I mean? Like, although I wouldn't say agnostic, I would say atheist because like I specifically don't believe that there's a God.
See,
But
I
that
am
doesn't
definitely
mean that-
agnostic in a sense that I think there could be a creator. It's just not the end all be all. You know? I think the
Well, I would agree with that.
main
you know,
question
there could
remains.
be things that, like, you know, there could be something that.
And I also
that's
think
why,
there's
like,
this whole other, like, you know, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual God that, like, I don't know, there is this energy and connectedness and
Right.
wishy-washy idea that there is something to that, too.
But the thing
you
is,
know?
people want, like, there to be this supernatural element. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
They
like-
want, well, they're also looking for a purpose. You know?
Yeah. But the
Some
fact that we're
reason to
here, the fact
exist.
that this is, and it's that they can't appreciate that this is happening now. You know what I mean? They want something more, something else. You know, like this is the great golden light that you're expecting when you go to heaven or whatever. You know what I mean? This is the experience. This is it.
Yeah.
We're here. We're doing this. This is crazy. Look around you. This is absolutely wild. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
because
it
it's
is-
here and it's now.
Because
and
you
it's
think
like,
about,
this is
like, when you
all
start...
you're gonna have.
Yeah,
ever.
There's
more
all
of
the
this,
shit that you have, you know, sinks with water.
And that's why I don't fuck
on
with the idea of
demand
the
and-
afterlife, you know?
Yeah,
This separation
well-
of duality, of like dualism, you know, of like difference between human spirit and human body. I just think this is it. This experience is...
Yeah, I
all
think
there
that
is.
does make sense.
And it's infinite and it's, you know, universal, so it's like, why do you need anything else?
It's like a burst
You know?
of energy, you know, like a splash of water that if the water runs in the right place could cause so much else to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Life being this like just burst of energy that like can impact things throughout its existence, you know?
Yeah.
And like I think older like cultures used to think of their legacy like as their afterlife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some culture maybe or something like that. I remember hearing about something like that in school. Like these people thought like their legacy, the stories that were told about them and statues. That's how they lived on. That's how they stayed alive
Right.
after they died. You know,
Yeah.
like in a more literal sense than just people remember me. It's like, to me, I think of it like, that's your energy still moving through the universe.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
One Piece, like,
Yeah.
you know, is a great example of that.
Oh,
you know?
I thought you were literally saying one like piece of your energy.
No.
No, the
But-
show
but
One
like,
Piece.
who is it that says it? Like, when does a man... Oh, Dr. Hiroluke. When does a man actually die? When he, like, breathes his last breath? Or is it, like, the last time his name is said? You know, like...
Yeah.
It's that idea that it's like, you're not really dead until you're done, forgotten about. Your effects, your life that you did stopped influencing the universe, you know?
Which they never do.
In theory.
I mean, it's the butterfly
Maybe,
effect.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie. I just
So,
think
like,
of, you know.
yeah. Oh, yeah, me neither. But it's a common expression, you know?
Yeah.
So one thing, like, this is what, like, alright, people, I feel like a lot of people either want, like, the universe to be, like, kind of cyclical, you know what I mean? Like, say there's a big bang, there's gonna be, like, a big shrinking and then a bounce or something, you know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah.
like a cyclical thing, you know what I mean? But the way I look at it is, like, if there's a beginning and an end, in an infinite universe, it doesn't really need, like, everything happened, you know what I mean?
You never, it's sort of that,
It's-
always
people
have
think-
to get halfway there before you get there
Right.
completely.
You know, it's infinite, you know what I mean? Like, it's never going to run out. Like, because we're here right now, experiencing it, you know?
I like what
Like,
Alan
it's
Watts says about,
And there's no reason to say that it has to keep continuing on forever, you know what I mean? Like, especially after infinity happened, you know what I mean? Like, if you did infinity, you might call it quits, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? I did literally everything. I'm done. You know, that's the universe. Like, maybe. Who knows? Like, but there's just such a struggle for people to think that way.
Yeah.
Because I think it ultimately scares them. But it's
I like
because they
this
don't
idea.
understand,
This idea. Well, what were you saying? They don't understand?
like, the concept of infinity.
Right,
They don't
yeah.
really understand that would mean that everything happened already. You know, there's nothing else to happen, that you're just reruns at that point. You're watching episode 6 of season 2 of Seinfeld. You're like, oh, fucking Elaine is doing, I don't know,
Same old fucking shit as last time episode
yeah.
6, season 2.
They're at the coffee shop, and I don't know.
Something about Seinfeld.
Yeah.
No, this idea that Alan Watts says about, like, because you have to experience, unhappiness to know when you're happy.
Yeah.
So we know we're alive.
Yeah.
So at one point...
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this.
You know?
We all get the concept of death. What happened? And it's like, yeah. Kyle Kalinske talks about that.
I love
a
what
lot.
he says.
And he's
Remember
like,
what it was like?
Remember what it was like when you were before you were born. It's like,
Yeah,
of
in
course not.
1856.
Yeah.
Remember 1856? How were you
Right.
back then?
Right. Yeah. So that's what death is.
That's
gonna
what
be
death is gonna
Yeah.
be like.
Yeah. I'm gonna be back with something special.
Oh, what? Well, that's intriguing. Do you think it's a pony? Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Me too.
You mentioned you had. We're gonna drink absolutely all of it right now, right?
Yeah, we're gonna chug it.
We're gonna. You should probably make sure you rinse it. Sometimes they smell funny from the dishwasher.
Do you want any, Corey?
Little sippy poo. I don't know if I've ever actually had Macallan 12. I've served it to many a person at my old restaurant that I have made it very well known to the people I talk to a lot that I'm glad to not work at anymore. Nothing against any of the people that work there, except for one person that I particularly didn't like, but won't shoot any shots. Bygones be bygones, that's what they say, right? Macallan 12. That, I learned, is the 12 isn't how old the whiskey is. And it's not how old the barrel is, it's how old the oldest barrel is.
Yes.
Man, there are so many fucking things about booze. So many, like, specific
Yep.
little details.
It's dumb.
What is it? It just twists off?
I don't know. I'm trying to.
I was gonna say, wait, you know. Although actually, yeah, as a bartender, you probably already always have those shits opened with the speed pours on it, ready to go, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't sell a lot of scotch at Coochie, so.
Just give me a little splash. I just want to taste it. Yeah, that's fine. I'm very curious. Scotch. So that's whiskey with fucking some stuff that they smoke it somehow.
Yeah, they put moss. They burn moss.
Moss.
To, like,
Yeah, I
stop the fermenting process.
a
and then,
strange fucking thing that
yeah.
people do.
That's why that's what they call
Smells
it peatiness.
strong.
You know what I mean? So like some
Peaty.
scotches
Yeah,
are
that
like a
word,
lot more
peaty.
peatiness, you know?
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
Petey.
Yeah. Yo, Petey.
Wow, that's the second time we referenced.
Yeah, there's a lot
Our
to
friend.
know about Scotch, and I know it's like I'm like there's this cat in Adventure Time where they go into this like cave. He's like he gets like Finn's name wrong, but he gets it. He's like
Huh.
It's like, how did you almost know my name? He's like, I have approximate knowledge of many things. Like that's what I am. Like I know a fucking like I was telling you about
knowledge.
this guy that I was talking to last night. He's a fucking physicist, like, talking about the Harrington event and like about quantum entanglement.
Carrington. Is that you say Harrington or
I
Carrington?
did say Harrington.
Oh.
Yeah. Approximate knowledge, dude. I'm telling you. I sort of know a lot of shit, you know? But like a lot of stuff, but like I only sort of know it, you know?
Ah, I feel you
And
on
it's
that.
like fun for me, you know? Like don't trust anything I say, but like
Check it out.
check it out is what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like the idea of, come to your own conclusions.
Yeah.
I don't like that a lot of conspiracy
if
theorists
you
say
hear
that.
someone say something and then you're like, that's definitely true, you're dumb. You know, you gotta go at least to one other place and be like, all right, this person also says that. Okay, that's so much better than just like one guy was like fucking
Well, yeah, but
they're rapists, they're murderers, like
they're those the big conspiracies are big conspiracies. Like
Yeah.
tons of people are saying it. Like the
That's
flat
true,
Earth
yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
fucking space is fake now.
Space is definitely fake.
It blew my mind when I was hearing about. I wonder how many people. Probably very few, because very few people will probably actually listen to this. But like, if any do, they may realize so many of the things that I know about from Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh yeah.
But hey, you know,
At
that's
one
what it's all
point,
about.
I said,
Exchange
Jamie,
of
bring
in-
that up. You know, like.
Yeah, I thought
joking
that's what you were
around,
referencing.
yeah,
But
obviously,
what the fuck was I just talking about though? That was just bringing up.
space is fake.
Space is fake. Yeah, I heard about that on the Joe Rogan thing.
Yeah.
But
So-
they're genuine about this shit. Like the whole NASA just making everything up about space. Like it's all just been made up so that they can fake a space alien invasion.
Yeah, that shit.
To create a one world government.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right. I mean, I get it. Sounds like a good plot for a movie, like Independence Day,
That's
which
like-
they
I
fucking
always
reference as like, oh, it's propaganda.
Propaganda.
You know?
Yeah. See, like, I would love to just give a pen and paper to like a fucking crazy person and just be like, write down what you think reality is here.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm just gonna write a title on it and then
And
fucking
then bring
sell
it to
it.
them.
Like, so I have this novel. And like,
Oh, that's honestly not a bad idea. We should.
no, I mean, like, obviously you would.
we
have
should
to
find the
structure a
most
story, you know what I mean?
convincing like conspiracy ideas
I've
that are
had-
just
yeah.
so out there, and just fucking string them together into a fucking movie script.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
This is pretty good, actually.
Tea, crumpets, and scotch, and bongs. Hey, maybe that'll be
So,
the name.
that bottle of,
Maybe
like,
that'll be the
Lagavulin.
name of this episode, yo.
Tea, crumpets,
Scotch
booze,
and bongs.
Scotch and bongs and tequila.
And
No,
tits
not
and
tequila.
ass and
Tits and ass. I'll start my own podcast with tits and ass.
with hookers and what is-
Blackjack.
Blackjack. And then what is it? Oh, that shit.
Yeah, I never
Second
realized
Futurama
how much I
reference.
was the quote
Two
guy.
for two.
You know, like at one point at work, someone was like, "Yeah, you fucking quote a lot of things." Or something. And I was like, "Yeah, fuck, I do, man." Yeah, it's got to be more original. Got to be like, I was doing this the other day, and then something interesting happened. You know. But realistically, I was like fucking like watching a YouTube video or some shit.
I think I kind of lost you
I don't know.
because I was distracted by thinking about this.
Yeah. What do you think of that shit?
I don't know. I think I'm just getting a little more used to the taste of like boozy booze.
Yeah.
But I was doing this thing that Alicia showed me where you keep the booze in your mouth and exhale.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what happens, but all the action happens in there and it burns much less
Yeah.
when you swallow.
I think it's like there's a lot of vapors. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, right.
ethanol
I think
vapors
that's
and stuff.
it. I think you're right. I always thought that was like one of the coolest things. I was like, whoa. It's like fucking. Because it's also like, I guess, the proper way, right? To experience the flavors of the fucking booze that you're drinking.
Yeah,
when
it's
you
like
drink it neat like that, right?
if you really want to taste it and like taste all the notes, like yeah, that's how you would probably drink it. you
How
know?
about that?
But as
I know so
Scott-
little I can't properly
Scott Cole,
appreciate.
the bass player in
this.
Eagles tribute band I play in. He's like, I asked him, I was like, so do you like, because he was like sitting there like just sipping like tequila neat. I was like, do you like taste your booze when you drink it neat like that, you know? He was like, you know, I could, but like after a certain point, you like the burn. And I was like, all right, fair enough, you know?
Okay. Damn. That just sounds like somebody wants to get drunk to me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Is that? I mean, is he also like? Is that like after the show he's getting fucking drunk, or is he actually just kind of sipping this shit and genuinely is like, yeah, fuck yeah, the burn.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mix of both, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Certainly
hey,
getting
no
drunk
reason.
in the
Yeah, no
process,
reason
you
you
know,
can't
like-
have both.
Yeah.
Oh
But
man.
he's not like slamming it back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I know.
Yeah.
Don't think I've met most of those guys.
The Silver Fox. Yeah,
Silver
he's-
Fox, is that what he's
yeah.
called?
Yeah, that's what we call him, yeah.
How about that?
Great guy.
It's a good name.
Great
good
bass
name
player.
to have. Silver Fox. That's
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
How long have we gone? I think we started right around 9 and it's 10:40.
10:40. We've been going almost like 2 hours, man.
It's a long one.
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
Yeah,
this is honestly pretty fun.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot of fun.
I can definitely see doing a lot more of these. Like,
Yeah.
think about like the next people, like all our friends that we're gonna bring through now.
Yeah. I think we should definitely try to.
We should get a 3 mic setup too.
Yeah.
I think we need a.
Try to have more of an agenda, and
Yeah.
also like. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the 3 mic setup would be a little more tricky
Yeah.
because we don't have a third condenser mic that isn't the really nice one.
Oh yeah. Don't you have a lav mic?
Yeah, actually,
Didn't try
that'd
that
be
out.
interesting.
Yeah.
But I like having them like this.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
is nice,
It's
yeah.
the thing, you know.
I don't know. You'd be like, yo, A-bomb, you got an old condenser mic? You'd be like, nah.
He'd be like, "Nah, I sold that."
Yeah.
Oh, love you, A-bomb.
Yeah.
I killed mine.
Yeah. I was gonna cheers to A-bomb, but
Here. I think I still have a little tea.
wait. Oh, okay. As long as it's
Oh,
not water.
I actually don't have tea anymore.
Alright, bad luck.
Damn. It's
Bad luck to cheers with water, at least.
Oh. I thought it was, you were saying that was bad luck. Why is it bad luck to cheers with water?
I don't know.
Ah, fuck that.
'Cause
The other day
you're
I was
supposed
on a
to cheers
shoot.
Like booze.
I was on a shoot with, Boston Digital.
Yeah.
And we're using ladders to get up, do shit in the panel ceiling shit, hanging lights and whatnot. And I was sitting next to one of the other PA guys, and I was like, watch this. I walked under 2 ladders in a row. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Right in front of him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When you're on a shoot, you're like, you don't want fucking bad luck. You don't want to be the doofus that
Yeah, that's like
fucked up
yeah.
on the shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But
We should make a video
I
where
don't
we
give a
just
fuck,
do
dude.
all those things. Like, there's an episode of Fairly Odd Parents where they had to do all these like bad luck things.
yeah,
to,
I
like,
remember that.
fucking-
They're like breaking
I think it was, like,
mirrors and
they're like committing mass bad luck. Like
Yeah.
fucking, they're like breaking mirrors, walking under ladders, knocking over salt shakers.
There's
like,
cats,
fucking
all the black cats.
Yeah, all that shit.
Dude, we should do that.
Yeah.
And then we're like, that would be
I've
an
broken
unbelievable
mirrors.
news story if like the next day we both got killed in like
you ever go through
unrelated.
7 shitty years and think back to that time you broke a mirror and you're like, you know what?
Obviously not.
7 is a lot too.
Dude, 7 years is such an absurd thing.
And how does it work? If you break a mirror
How can you
during that
observe
7
that?
time period, does it just restart the 7 years?
Or
Or
does it add up? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
like does it add 7 more years? Like how does that work?
How about that?
Yeah. What if you break a mirror and then you step on one of the pieces and it breaks? Like is that
Oh, if you
another
break
7
an
years?
already
'Cause,
broken.
like even a shard of a mirror is still a mirror.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is it's all very silly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's I think that's very much the conclusion of that too, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's like placebo, because you can genuinely make things happen. I think by believing them.
Yeah.
So when you're convinced you're gonna have a terrible day, you have a terrible day.
Yeah.
When you're convinced you're gonna have bad luck, you act a lot more. You end up fumbling stuff because you're in your own head. It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I think.
Definitely.
What do you think? Good luck to leave off on that note.
Yeah, I think luck is bullshit.
Fuck luck.
Fuck luck. We got like a mirror to break.
Until
That'd be pretty cool.
until
wait,
I'm.
let's knock over some salt. Oh, dude.
We don't have a regular salt shaker. We got salt in the big thing. Now that I think about it.
Dude, we might be out of salt.
I think it's in the top. No, the other like cabinet to the left. That
this
whole
guy?
other thing. Oh, is that the salt we have? Like some weird shit? that was an excessive amount of salt.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
I guess that was bad
That was
luck.
that was a lot more salt than
I didn't mean. I'm
you
sorry.
know, like that's, you know, I think at one point we were talking about sustainability and shit. I'm not just out here. I'm just like fucking salt on the table. Fuck it.
That's what it is, though. You know.
Yeah.
I think there's arguments to be made about salt being. Actually, I wonder if it's something we're like running low on in the world.
Well, I mean, anything that you pay money for requires resources, and to waste it is just like pointless.
Unless you convince 100 people that bad luck isn't real,
Maybe.
because that could be worth a pile of salt.
Yeah. Maybe. Honestly, maybe.
See, that's
Shit.
that's the kind of thinking I've been
Yeah.
working on recently.
So maybe,
especially.
all right, we got to do another podcast in exactly a week, and I got to report on how my luck has been.
Is that how long you're supposed to have bad luck for salt?
I have no idea, but I
Oh.
think that's enough time to probably
That's gauge-
experience it. Like, cause like salt, you know, like you're
Well,
probably that's like a low level like fucking bad luck thing. Like cat crossing you, that's way worse luck than like, you know,
if it's an all black cat, yeah.
all black cat. Yeah, that, you know. Breaking mirror is like one of the worst bad luck crimes, you know.
Is
Like,
the
you
la-
can-
I think the ladder is like the tier before mirror, right?
probably.
I don't know how long you're supposed to
It
get
definitely
from
goes
ladder.
salt, ladder,
I'll tell you what, I sure as hell haven't had any bad luck
mirror.
since the ladder.
Yeah.
That day went swimmingly.
I think it goes salt, ladder, black cat, mirror. You know, in terms of severity. I think black
No
cat.
way. I always thought ladder was one of the worst ones.
You think ladder is worse than black cat?
Yeah.
Black cat.
Dude, people
like a way
own
worse
black
one.
cats.
I feel like. Yeah, but
People living with black cats,
you're clearly not superstitious if you have an all black cat. You know, at least to that. You know. Also, I would love to meet someone who's like fucking freaking out after like a black cat crosses their path. They're like, no, we gotta turn around. Like, I'm not going that way.
I'm going in for the night. That's it. And then they choke on their pasta in home.
Yeah. I'm salty though about that salt, man.
Hey, you live and you learn.
Well, what can I use it for, man? Maybe I'll make a margarita.
you could
I'll
salt
scoop
them.
I'll scoop that salt on a tray and be like, fuck it. Alright, it's decided.
All right. Well,
Alright, there we go. Conservation of salt.
should we wrap it?
Yeah, let's wrap it.
Well, if you're still here with us, thanks for listening.
Yeah, this has been fun.
This has been a lot, probably more fun for us than them.
Yeah, but
Maybe? Who knows? Only time and them will tell.
Yeah.
Wasn't it strange coming back to regular?
Yeah. Very, very weird. Shit.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun, man.